And here's the video review for Bandai's Master Grade line Figurerise, Figurerise, I don't know how to say it, it's Figurerise, Figurerise I think is how it's meant to be, Kamen Rider OOO's kit. Now this is not the newest, this is the newest kit for them, but it's not the first. This is just the first for the OOO's line. They've already done a bunch of the, all the main double forms, including Excel and Skull. I actually am working on Skull right now, but I wanted to do Tatoba here first just because I thought it'd be fun, and I wanted to kind of practice some new techniques on him before taking it to Skull, because I love Skull's design like every other jerk on the planet. Anyway, so he's around 8 inches tall and was pretty fun to build. Now, I'm not big on painting and stuff like that, but I decided to kind of go a little crazy on this kit, so I gave it a full coat of paint and panel lined everything and did all the painting on the sword. Instead of, the only stickers I used were a sticker on his buckler or on his scanner, and then sticker behind his eyes. Now, to show you a little bit of posability, it's actually really fun to play with and pretty posable. Now, he comes on this stand, and one thing I didn't realize at first was that there's 2 separate pieces back here. Now you pop that off, which is on there pretty good, thankfully, and then you can actually pop on a separate piece that doesn't have this plug sticking out of it that goes into the stand, so he can actually have like a full complete belt when he's not plugged into the stand. Now he really doesn't need the stand to stay balanced. I just like using it for display just to kind of alleviate any worries of him falling over. Now he does come with his metal jobber. I think I pronounced that right. And I'll set him right over here. Show off the sword first, because I'm going to not play with it for pretty much the rest of the view. Now what I really love about it is the detail. Some of the silver paint I did on mine's kind of wearing off, but oh well. I just love the fact that it's big, detailed, pretty, and it even does that. And the cool part is this comes out, and then there's like a little lever here that keeps the coins in, and yes, a bunch of individual, easily lost coins. Now the real fun thing is you can actually, see if I can do it. Oh, it doesn't want to go naturally. The paint sort of screwed up some of it a little. But what you do is there's a little slot right here, and then it comes out there. Before I painted it, when it was just plastic and gave the coins a coat, it actually worked really good. And there you go. So it's kind of neat, it's fun, it's, I don't know, I just leave them in because you don't want to lose these cell metals. But then the one thing I do like is you can hit this and it locks them in so they don't roll out. I'm going to set this off to the side. Now, with him being O's, he of course is in his standard, let's see if I can move this up. Well, there we go. Standard Tatoba combo. Now his belt, I'm going to play with his belt first before going into any other things. It does rotate, and it can even, if you really want it to, pop off. So you can get kind of a good look. Now, just like the sword, all these little metals here are actually individual pieces. Now, they give you this little thing, which is, stick it in this slot here, and then you pop them out. Now, there's a reason they did this other than making it neat and cool, is, we'll get to that in a bit. Now the other thing he comes with is his scanner, which actually slides on his belt. There we go. It's neat, and he can hold it, sort of. It's, I don't know. I almost wish they would have, his hands, oh his hands. I'm not a huge fan of these hands. You can kind of wedge his fingers in there, and then he can sort of get like a, he can hold it alright, you know, I don't know. I just never feel very secure. This just slides back there. Now don't get me wrong, I actually really dig this kit, and it was very fun to build. The proportions are a little wonky, but they end up looking a little better in person. Now the other thing that was neat that they did is his coin belt here, or coin belt, coin holder. It comes with, he comes with a bunch of blank medals, and then you can put stickers on. Now my camera's not going to show them, but he actually has a full, he comes with a full combo for Gatakiriba, Sagozo, and Ratorata. Now the only ones that are actually molded detail is the full Tatoba combo. The other ones are just gold with stickers. But the reason they did that is they worked in, there we go, a full combo change gimmick. Now his head is just sort of kind of clips in there. So I'm assuming they did this because the double models, they what was funny with the double model kits is they released Cyclone Joker. And if you guys, if you're watching this, you probably know a little bit about Kamen Rider. But if you don't, I'll go into quick detail. With Kamen Rider Double, there was Cyclone Joker, and then he could change forms into Heat Metal and Luna Trigger. And then all those forms were interchangeable, so there was a total of 9 different forms. So instead of releasing a model kit for Kamen Rider Double that could split apart and you could make your own, you actually had to buy 9 different model kits and then build each one into the one you wanted. It was a pain in the ass. You ended up buying 3 Cyclone Jokers, 3 Luna Triggers, 3 Heat Metals. It was really sort of a huge waste of money, and I don't think it did the way Bandai wanted it to do. So with O's, he has like 120 forms or some such. I'm going off of an estimate here, I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, with O's, they actually figured a way to do the combo change. So the head just pops off. It's in there pretty good, but... And then the head definitely comes off easier than the torso. That's all held on by ball joints, but you gotta really pop it out of there. And then the only complaint I have is that every single time you're going to have to figure out a way to pop off this. Now it comes off pretty easy, but that's because I've messed with it a lot. So you can actually do a full, when they release the other models, you can do all his different combos and only buying one of each model. You don't necessarily have to buy 4 or 5 different... You don't have to buy 4 or 5 Tatobas in order to do Gatakiriba, Ratorata, and Tajador. So on to his Poseability. Oh, and his little claws flip down, but they're sort of short, so they look good up. They don't really look good down, in my opinion. They need to be a little longer, but that's just me. I'm not very good at posing, but he's as, if not more so, about as posable as the figure art. I don't own the figure arts of him, but of my other figure arts that I have, he's pretty up there. Now the one thing that's neat they did is, this is a big deal for them, they got this bicep muscle flexing when you move the elbow, so you can, I don't know, make it look cooler. I'm not entirely sure why they did it. They also did it down here in the leg. Let's sort of see. There we go. I think it was a way to do it without sacrificing posability and having the model kit still look good. Now the other thing that I really dig is his soles are rubber, which it really helps him stand. It's sort of like the whole die-cast thing on the initial figure arts. Is it really helps him get, I'll show you, a good stance down without using his stand. He really doesn't need the stand. Like I said, I just use it to keep him stable. And he also comes with his bug feet. What you do is you just pop out his little human feet, and then you get all weird and buggy. I don't really use these that much for display. I think it's neat that they included them. I really wish the figure art would have done it, just because that would have been cool. Now when he's got these on, obviously his stability is totally screwed because, A, he's got tiny little bug feet. There's no little rubber soles on him or anything. They're just kind of, I think they were just sort of thrown in there to, oh look, we packaged it with it. I think there's going to be, you know, like 4 or 5 people. Even the stand doesn't really like to hold him up with him. But there you go. He's neat. He's fun. If you're into model kits, I highly suggest, if you're into model kits and Kamen Rider, I highly suggest it. It was a fun kit to build. If you're just into Kamen Rider but you're not really big into model kits, I don't know if this is a good purchase for you, because it's sort of pricey. I paid around $49 for it at a convention. I think if you get it on HLJ or AmiAmi, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, but then there's the shipping to work out. So if you're not into model kits, I don't know if this is worth it. Like you say, the plastic, the default plastic on him is, he doesn't need a lot of paint, but the stickers for the chest emblems look really bad. It's one of the reasons why I decided to say screw it and paint it. And then the rest of the body is like this shiny black plastic, and this, you know, it in my opinion, it needed some work to make it look better. You could just leave it stock if you want to do and maybe panel line it, but I think this suffers from having all the detail on the belt and on the chest. This suffers from the stickers. I put the stickers on initially and they really didn't look that good to me. So your mileage may vary. I'm just throwing out my opinion on there. The sword also had a bunch of stickers and stuff on it, and they just didn't look that great. I mean, there's all this blue and everything. It's all detail. It's all sculpted in. It really wasn't that... I'm not a huge painter, but it really wasn't that difficult for me to paint. I don't know about you personally, whoever is watching this out in the great wide world, the world of the interwebs. Now, if you're in model kits, I think it's not super difficult. It was not a super difficult build. It did do some neat stuff. Like, I dig, like, putting the legs and stuff together. I dig. Now, the hands, they make extra kits for the hands, but the hands are like 20 bucks. The hands aren't bad. They're okay. I mean, they look better, but, for example, the hands were all black. All the fingers were black, and all that yellow had to be painted on to make it show accurate. And they gave you stickers, but they looked really crappy. The claws were just the same yellow here. Well, not the same yellow, but the claws were this yellow plastic, and I had to paint them gold. The only stuff that I really didn't paint was the gold trim around here, because I didn't necessarily need it. And pretty much everything else I gave a coat of paint to, or, you know... Nothing, almost nothing on here is the straight plastic from the kit. So keep that in mind when you go looking. Now, if you want just something new and fun to do, I do suggest it. I don't think this kit was super, super difficult. Just be prepared. It is a model kit. You do have to put it together. And, you know, there's going to be, like, a lot of sprue lines and seam lines. Like, you know, on the head here... You can see, I'm not big on seams. I'm not big on fixing seams, but on, like, torso, the shoulder pad, there's a lot of seams still showing that I probably could have, if I had spent a lot more time, messing around with it, I could have gotten rid of, but I chose not to. You know, I said, you know, I think it looks fine on display, and I'm satisfied with it. But, yeah, I don't know, I'm rambling at this point, so I'm just going to stop the review, and thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you very much.